Welcome, my friend.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. In Star Wars Rebels, Maul went up against Obi-Wan on Tatooine for the last time. The fight itself was quick but beautiful because Maul was too overconfident. He really thought that he could kill him just as easily as he did with Qui-Gon all those years ago. But what if Maul was actually successful? What would go down next? Before we get into it, just be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future videos. After striking down Obi-Wan, Maul would be overcome with a feeling he did not expect. Maul would feel a sense of loss. Despite his hatred for the Jedi Master being immense, he would realize that Kenobi was all that he had left in this wide galaxy, until he would direct his attention to this certain someone that Kenobi was protecting. Maul would arrive at the Lars homestead. Sensing the boy nearby, the Force felt incredibly strong. Maul creeped through the darkness of the homestead, but Luke's Uncle Owen was awakened by Maul's footsteps. Grabbing his rifle, he began to move through his home, seeking out the intruder. Owen saw Maul and didn't hesitate to act, firing his weapon. Maul froze Owen and the blaster bolt in place, and he pushed it back towards Owen, killing him on the spot. Beru came out screaming, shooting blindly at Maul, but the former Sith ignited his lightsaber and deflected a shot at her leg. He approached her and used the Force to snap her neck. Luke woke to the sound of screams and gunfire, and he rushed to help his family, but all he saw was his aunt and uncle dead on the floor. Approaching the trembling boy, Maul deactivated his lightsaber and knelt before him, his tone unexpectedly gentle.
Fear not, young one. The Force has brought us together for a reason.
Luke hesitated, unsure of this sinister figure before him.
Who are you?
I am Maul, and I sense great strength within you, young Skywalker. With proper guidance, you could harness the power of the Force like no other.
Luke's gaze darted between his fallen aunt and uncle and the imposing figure of Maul. Confusion and fear warred within him, but a flicker of curiosity sparked in his eyes. Maul continued, his words carefully chosen to entice the impressionable mind of the boy.
Your destiny lies with me, my boy. Only together we can unlock your true potential. Join me and I will show you true power.
The offer hung in the air, tempting and dangerous.
Why did you kill my aunt and uncle?
They stood in the way of your true destiny. Join me, and together we shall reshape the galaxy.
A conflict brewed within Luke, a choice that would shape the course of his life. In a moment that would resonate through the ages, Luke made his choice.
I'll join you then.
Maul grinned as he reached out a hand to the young Skywalker, drawing him into the embrace of the dark side. With a nod, Maul guided Luke away from the homestead, setting into motion a new chapter in the galaxy's history. Under Maul's tutelage, Luke Skywalker found himself immersed into the depths of the dark side, delving into the teachings that twisted the very fabric of his understanding of the Force. Maul honed Luke's natural abilities, molding his raw potential into a formidable force of power and control. Maul's training was rigorous and unyielding. He exposed Luke to ancient dark side rituals, guiding him through esoteric practices that tapped into the darkest corners of the Force. The young apprentice absorbed Maul's teachings with a fervor that bordered on obsession. Each lesson pushed Luke further into the clutches of the dark side, eroding the principles instilled by the Jedi teachings. The seductive allure of power drew Luke deeper into Maul's grasp. With every triumph over his own limitations, every display of newfound strength, the allure of the dark side grew stronger within him. His once blue eyes began to gleam with an unsettling amber hue, a reflection of the growing corruption within. Under Maul's guidance, Luke's powers expanded exponentially. He wielded the Force with a frightening proficiency, mastering abilities that defied conventional Jedi wisdom. He manipulated the elements, choked the life from his enemies, and conjured storms of destructive energy. As Luke delved deeper into the darkness, his demeanor changed. The once innocent boy from Tatooine became hardened, his expressions cold and calculated. He shed the vestiges of his former self, embracing the ruthless efficiency of an apprentice. Maul observed Luke's transformation with a sense of grim satisfaction satisfaction. He saw the potential within Luke. The bond between master and apprentice deepened, intertwining their destinies in a web of darkness. As time passed, Luke grew more committed to the dark side. His loyalty to Maul became unwavering, and the bond between them strengthened through shared triumphs and ruthless conquests. Together, they embarked on a campaign of terror across the galaxy, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Luke Skywalker was feared and respected by those who dared to oppose the might of the dark side. Under Maul's guidance, Luke conquered planets, subdued adversaries, and struck down anyone who stood against the will of the dark side. His actions were driven by a conviction that the power he wielded was absolute, a belief instilled by Maul's relentless teachings. Yet, amidst the chaos and destruction, whispers of doubt occasionally flickered within Luke's mind. But each time, the dark side's grip tightened, drowning out any semblance of hesitation. Maul would sense the turmoil within his apprentice, but saw it as a necessary part of Luke's evolution. He continued to stroke the flames of Luke's ambition, urging him to embrace the darkness without reservation, to discard the vestiges of his former self. The line between master and apprentice blurred as Maul and Luke became intertwined in a complex dance of power and manipulation. Maul, a master of manipulation and secrecy, had meticulously woven a web of influence across the galaxy. From the shadows, he orchestrated his schemes, utilizing his extensive knowledge of the criminal underworld to further his plans. Crimson Dawn, a criminal syndicate under his covert control, expanded its reach, spreading its tendrils to the darkest corners of the galaxy. While Maul nurtured Luke's burgeoning power, his ultimate aim lay veiled in secrecy, a desire for vengeance against his former master, Darth Sidious. Maul had not forgotten everything that he had endured at the hands of the Sith hierarchy, especially with the death of his brother, Savage Opress. He harbored a burning thirst for retribution, a longing to topple the empire Palpatine had built. As Luke delved deeper into the dark side, his strength and influence grew exponentially. Maul observed Luke's ascent with a mixture of pride and caution. He recognized the danger of a pupil who rivaled his prowess, a potential threat to his ambitions for revenge. Maul ensured that Skywalker remained focused on their shared objectives, conquering worlds, crushing resistance, and expanding their dominion. The apprenticeship between master and pupil evolved into a delicate dance of dominance and subservience, a dynamic balance on the edge of ambition and distrust. The bond between them was one of mutual dependence tinged with an underlying tension. Luke's power continued to burgeon, and his thirst for dominance mirrored Maul's own ambitions. Maul carefully cultivated an image of camaraderie and guidance, all the while keeping a firm grasp on the reins of control. As Maul plotted his machinations, his thoughts frequently turned to the ultimate goal, bringing about the downfall of Emperor Palpatine. He channeled his energies into manipulating the galactic events, sowing discord among the Empire's ranks, and quietly undermining Palpatine's influence. Meanwhile, Luke Skywalker plunged deeper into the depths of the dark side, his commitment unwavering, his powers unmatched. His alliance with Maul grew stronger, and the Dark Apprentice remained oblivious to the subtle manipulations aimed at ensuring his allegiance and preventing any notions of betrayal. The stage was set, and the pieces maneuvered across the galactic chessboard as Maul, the puppet master operating in the shadows, continued his intricate dance of deception and revenge, biding his time for the ultimate strike against his nemesis, Emperor Palpatine. As Luke's strength increased, Maul's fears grew proportionately. The apprentice's prowess had reached a point where Maul saw the risk of him surpassing the need for his guidance. Maul knew he had to take strategic steps to ensure his continued dominance over Luke. To do so, Maul resolved to provide in-person training, a calculated move that would simultaneously push Luke's abilities to new heights while cementing Maul's indispensability in his development. Maul summoned Luke to the Dark Temple on Dromund Kaas, the old headquarters of the Sith Empire. The air crackled with an eerie energy, and the ominous terrain mirrored the dark path Luke was treading. As Luke arrived, a sense of anticipation and excitement mingled with the dark foreboding that hung in the air. Maul greeted him with an air of camaraderie, masking the underlying schemes that churned within his mind.
Welcome, my apprentice. Here, you will undergo the final stages of your training, but be warned, the path ahead is treacherous.
Luke regarded his master with a mixture of reverence and determination. The allure of power and the promise of further mastery of the dark side beckoned to him.
I'm ready, my master.
Under Maul's tutelage, the training sessions delved into the darkest depths of the Force. Luke faced trials that tested his resolve, his strength, and his allegiance to the dark side. Maul pushed him beyond his limits, exposing him to forbidden rituals and ancient dark side teachings, demanding unwavering commitment to the darkness. As Luke delved deeper into the abyss of his own power, his connection to the dark side intensified. The Force responded to his will with frightening ease, bending to his commands with an unnerving potency. Maul was playing with fire, and he understood that he had to stay one step ahead if he was to emerge victorious in the end. His ulterior motives of revenge against Palpatine intertwined with his ambitions to maintain control over his formidable apprentice. As the training sessions continued and Luke's power intensified, the true test awaited, whether Maul's manipulations and teachings would bind the young Skywalker to the dark side completely, or if the seeds of doubt would blossom into a rebellion against his master's designs. Maul orchestrated a mission designed to disrupt the machinations of the Empire. He saw it as an opportunity to both further his agenda and test the loyalty and capabilities of his apprentice. Under the guise of Crimson Dawn's strategic maneuvering, Maul dispatched Luke on a covert assignment aimed at undermining an Imperial stronghold, an act that would strike at the heart of Palpatine's influence. The mission was meticulously crafted to cause a significant disturbance within the Empire, while ensuring Luke's involvement remained concealed. Luke, fully committed to the dark side and unwavering in his loyalty to Maul, embarked on the mission with a fervor fueled by his thirst for power and the desire to prove himself. His actions were ruthless and precise, causing chaos within the Imperial ranks, without leaving a trace that could be linked back to Maul or Crimson Dawn. As the Imperial Security Bureau scrambled to uncover the source of the disturbance, Luke's name began to surface, a shadowy figure entangled in the web of subversion against the Empire. This would eventually reach the attention of Darth Vader. Vader took a keen interest in this new potential adversary, given that Luke's last name was Skywalker, which led Vader to believe that this boy was the offspring of Anakin Skywalker. His relentless pursuit of any threat to the Empire led him to delve deeper into the reports of Luke's activities, sensing a disturbance in the Force that resonated with his dark power. Vader's meticulous investigation pieced together the puzzle of Luke's actions, linking the disturbances to the clandestine maneuvers of Crimson Dawn. Maul's gambit had succeeded in attracting the attention of Darth Vader. The paths of Darth Vader and Luke were set to intersect, drawn together by the intricate web of the dark side's machinations. The confrontation between the Dark Lord of the Sith and the formidable apprentice of Maul loomed on the horizon. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for part 2. May the Force be with you.